Hey everybody, it's Lo-Fi back at it again with another review on the Amazing Spider-Man from Mezco Toys. Now, some people will have you think that this is based off of his look from Amazing Fantasy 15 from 1962, but actually I believe it is his look from Amazing Spider-Man Annual from 1964. Now, my camera is not the best at picking up the more vibrant colors of this figure, so hopefully the photos do it justice towards the end. And let's get right into it. So his look is super detailed. I'll bring him just a little closer. He is a little shiny, but this is more based off of his classic look. And he's made out of this more spongy material, and he is more based on a smaller teen body, which makes sense because he was a teenager at this time. Okay, so let's get a closer look. So you can see all the painted detail and all the sculpted detail. All the webbing is raised. There are no details at the bottom of the feet other than the peg holes. This is very basic. This is a very basic body. No Mezcoification or anything on him. Yep, you can look all the way up there and look at his arms, all the raised webbing detail all throughout the figure. And you can see it all throughout here, and you can see that classic Spider-Man logo, and you can see right here where the paint misses on the face sculpt. Let's see. Let's look at that face sculpt. Yeah, you can see it has more of the Steve Ditko eyes. And you can see where the paint missed right there, which is a tad unfortunate for mine. But other than that, this figure is still fantastic, even though the web lines still miss. Here's the back. The back, I feel, is pretty empty, other than this small spider logo right here. Alright. And you can see where all the stitching is. And if my suit looks really wrinkled, it's because I've not been able to put this guy down. Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much the broad strokes of the suit. You can see all the lines and webbing and whatnot. And now let's get into the articulation. Spider-Man can look up about this high. And much like the Human Torch figure, his head has a ball joint attached to the head. So you know what that means. Possible light-up feature. Okay. So you can look up about this high. You can look down about that far. He has... This head's a little loose, but he has a incredible amount of rotation right there. Tilt, tilt, all the stuff. Okay, and his arms can go up about this high. Now, be careful of the bunching. People, I hear that there's been cracking. I've been trying to be careful, but I like getting my Spider-Man into dynamic poses. But yeah, he can go up about this high, go about that far. He has bicep swivel. He has double jointed elbows, which go in farther than 90 degrees. They're almost folding in on themselves. It looks really cool. Really, really cool. And he has the wrist balls with the peg in there, so it can rotate all the way around. I think the cuff rotates. No, it doesn't. Unlike the Fantastic Four, that doesn't happen. He can bend back about this far. Alright. Let me get that pop back in. And then his chest could go in like that, and he can go forward about that far, but again, you get this weird bunching, so just be careful, guys. Sorry if I'm going a little fast for everybody, but yep, these are pretty much the broad strokes. He is pretty basic, and he can tilt, all that good stuff, all that good juicy articulation. Alright, and his leg can go up about this far. My legs are a little loose, a little loosey-goosey. Well, I wouldn't say they're loose because it's not, oh yeah, just a little loose, but yeah. But they're still really good. He can go out, his legs can go out about this far, which is really, really good. Look at that. Look at how far he can do the splits. That's awesome. And he has rotation at the calf, but it's kind of stiff, but the ball joint for where the hips are does a really good job of compensating for that. And then he has double jointed knees, which can go in about that far, which is really, really nice. Incredible. All right. And then he has a ball right at the ankle, so he can swivel. Oh, and he has boot rotation right there too, which is very nice. Up, down, all the good stuff. And that's pretty much his articulation. But yeah, that's all that. Get him put back over there. And then the next thing I'm going to get into is accessories, because this Spider-Man comes with a ton of accessories. So What he was just on was this little rubbery base, this Spider-Man logo, which is really, really cool. I like it a lot. It's made out of this rubbery material. And on the back, it's just blank. I'll put that down. And then he comes with the standard Mezco base stand with the claw and the just amazing Spider-Man logo, which also comes with a little extra piece, this little extra piece, which you can hook on the back, and that is for his spider sense. Right there, you see that? This little spider sense effect. So what you're supposed to do is hook it to the base, and you hook it to this, and you put it behind Spider-Man, and it looks like his spider sense is going off. And I got really creative with the photos. I just stuck some tack to the back, and I just went with it, and it turned out really nice. I preferred having the tack to the back of his head than having it on the stand because it looks kind of funky. Well, I mean, if you get some really good shots, then it should look fine. Next, he comes with a web backpack. I'm just grabbing stuff that's next to me, so bear with me. Oh, and I have some smudge on there. I think that's my fault. It'll come off. I'm sure it'll come off, but it's made out of this super glossy plastic with this pearlescent paint on here as well. Super detailed. So it's like Peter Parker's running from school and trying to get all the stuff that he can to get his Spider-Man stuff out and go out and save the day. Alright, what else? Let me grab his smaller accessories. So he comes with a camera, because Peter Parker is a photographer. The paint is kind of chipped off from mine because I keep swapping the straps out. And it's the blue plastic underneath, but they are painted silver originally. But here's his tiny camera. It doesn't look quite like my camera. This is more of a 1960s camera. Look at that. It's like it has a little screen right there or something. Well, not a screen, because I didn't really have screens for cameras. And I dropped it. Good thing it just landed right there. And then he also comes with an extra strap, which you can put in between his hands, so that way he's like carrying it. Let me put that down. He also comes with a spider tracer receiver, and the only reason he would come with one of these is if he came with spider tracers. Look at those. I kept them on there so that way it'd be easier to look at for you guys. And these look super duper cool. And I did use one in my photos. I wasn't able to complete. I did my photos ahead of time this time, but my camera battery died, so I wasn't able to finish them. So after this, I'll finish up some photos and then I'll upload them as well. Put that away. He also comes with this newspaper. And this newspaper is super detailed, and it has writing on it. And there's the back or the front of it. And it looks really, really cool. And I also included that in the photos. He also comes with a Spider-Man mask, which he can hold in his hand. And it's got some wrinkles in the bottom and in the back. And speaking of hands, this Spider-Man comes with a lot of them. There's all of his hands. Comes with some open hands, a thumbs up hand, a pointing hand, some thwipping hands, a lot of open hands, and then some grabby hands for the camera or the spider tracer receiver, some web holding hands. Mine's flipped that way because, again, I was posing around earlier, so I didn't get to put it back perfectly, but there's all of his alternate hands. They're all matching. I think there's about 14 hands here. Let me see, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 hands, I'm sorry. It comes with 16 hands, which is also incredible that he comes with that many hands. He comes with a little baggie for all the accessories he comes with. He also comes with some web accessories. For example, his biggest web accessory, which is the web parachute. Let me hook these all in here. I mean, it can also work as a web slingshot, which is shown in the instructions. And I did do an in-hand photo of that. I didn't have time to take photos of that. But it comes with a web parachute. You just kind of put him in here like this. And it looks like he's kind of falling or flying or floating down from maybe a run-in with the Vulture or something, or Green Goblin. He's just like going, woo, you know? And that's cool. And it also comes in this pearlescent plastic. And if you get creative, you can use it for other things as well. All right. Let's see. Let me get him stood straight back up. There he is. Okay. And he also comes with a web shield. Also with that pearlescent plastic. Also very cool. I love how much stuff he comes with, actually. He comes with so much good stuff. And he comes with this web accessory, like he's swinging from a web, you know, any shape, any size. Catches thieves just like flies. Look out. There goes the Spider-Man. And then he also comes with this bendy wire effect. And you can get some, maybe, Todd McFarlane-esque poses out of this one. He also comes with a web grabbing effect, like he's tying somebody up. And that kind of undoes. And you can take your villain. Let me show you an example. You take your villain. I have Lizard out because I was taking photos with the Lizard last. So here's Lizard. And you take your Lizard, and you can either do something like this, where he's webbing his neck. He's kind of a big character, so you might want to use like a smaller framed character, but what I could do something like this. Take him and you kind of just web his torso up like so. Oh, I took his tail off. My bad. My B, Mr. Lizard. Sorry, Dr. Connors. You could have him like this, being grabbed by Spider-Man. Or you could swing it around. Let me see if I can swing this around, turn his life around. And you just have him get grabbed by Spider-Man, which is pretty cool. Put him down. I'll actually just keep that on there for photos for later. He also comes with a tiny web effect. A little tiny web effect. Which is also made with that pearlescent plastic and has like a little web ball at the end, so like getting concussed by Spider-Man. And finally, he comes with a bunch of alternate heads. Let me see, which alternate head would I like to use first? I guess the first should just be the OG. Peter Parker. Average high school student. And his face is a young guy face, a young teenager face. And that's pretty cool. He also comes with a set of glasses that you can put on him. So it can just be an unassuming, bookish dweeb that even Flash Thompson wouldn't take 2 extra looks at. Look at that. And that looks really cool. Well, I'll have fun finding those later. Okay. He also comes with an angry head. A half and half Spider-Man head, like he used to have in the comic books. Sometimes they'd do that in the cover, or sometimes when his spider sense was blaring, he would have this head, which is also very, very cool. Look at that. Okay. And then he also comes with a more John Romita style head sculpt. And the eyes don't exactly line up how I'd like them to, but they still look very nice. And finally, he comes with a more surprised look. And why is he so surprised? Is his spider sense tingling, or is it possibly something else? And, let me turn this light off. His eyes actually light up. There we go. There, you guys can see that a whole lot better now, can't you? Incredible. Sorry if there's a whole lot of noise. My apartment building is very loud. Okay, so look at that. That looks incredible. Let me turn this light back on. Okay, then let me turn this light back on. There we go. And that's pretty much what he all comes with. And let me get some other figures for the size comparisons. I will be right back. I am back. Okay, so what I did was I grabbed all the Spider-Man figures I could. That would kind of work. So I was going to do some comparisons with the Spider-Man villains, but I realized I have so many of them that would take forever, so I just grabbed a couple of Spider-Men. So, alright. So, first up, I will show you what he looks like next to the Mafex Classic Spider-Man. So, let me put him next to him. And they stand in relative good standing to each other. Look at that. Let me center them more. They're about the same height. Mafex stands just a little bit taller. Okay. And here is the Mezco 112 Spider-Man 2099. And he is incredibly tall compared to Peter, which makes sense because Miguel's older than this version of Spider-Man, and he's more imposing, and he goes to the gym a lot. All right, and here's the original, the Amazing Fantasy 15. And I believe he still stands just a touch taller than him. Yes, it looks like it, because I don't have a measuring tool with me, so I can't tell you how tall this Spider-Man is. Let's say he is definitely under 6 inches tall. There we go. Let me move him out of the way. But he scales relatively well with other figures. Here he is with the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man, and Renew Your Vows is definitely taller. Definitely taller as an older Spider-Man, but not really that bad. If you guys have messed around with your Legends, most Mezco figures will scale in perfectly well with them. And I don't have the original Mezco Spider-Man. I actually sold mine. But I do have the Previews exclusive, which is pretty much the exact same figure, just in a different costume. Now, the other one might stand a little taller because he has more sneakers, and this one just has flat feet. But this is more of what an adult Mezco Spider-Man would look like. And he does stand taller. Alright. But you did see the lizard, so I can bring the lizard back so you guys can have a look at what he would look like next to a classic Spider-Man villain. Let me stand him up straight. Now, I do have a bunch of Spider-Man villains next to me, but that was primarily for photos. They're all back in their boxes. So, the lizard stands a little bit taller. His tail is weighing him back, so he does stand just a little bit taller. Let me have his neck up. Yep, he is taller than Peter. And when I get back into some photos, they will look awesome together. Completely awesome. So, with that being said, that's all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching the review, and I hope you enjoy the photos at the end. Have a great rest of your day. Lo-Fi here. Quick, forgot to mention, he also comes with this web effect that will also be in the photos. You can put it on a criminal's face and it'll just latch on. So if I just take Spider-Man here and just put that on him, that's what he can come with. Also, the web effects from the Miguel Spider-Man also work with this Spider-Man. Some of them are a little thick, like this one. I had a hard time getting on his wrists. But yeah, you can put them on, and the examples I will show at the end. Thank you.